Everybody who has come in, I really appreciate you, Tim Becky, Barnavale, and of course, official Fred Ofem. Thank you very much. Good to have you here again. I hope your portfolios are doing great. You know how we do it when we start off. From the word go, we begin with sharing this live session, liking it, sharing gifts from the beginning to the end. Let's be relentless in our efforts to reaching out to so many others who need the information that we share. Thank you very much, everyone across Instagram and TikTok for joining. We go again today, building our portfolio of investments to become better investors tomorrow, and of course, be amongst the wealthiest in town. Thank you very much. I think you are the first gifter in the very first minute of the live session. You are highly appreciated. We'll go straight to the point. I want to deal with as many questions and queries as possible so we do not have time to waste. We'll go on to search for immediately the top gainers for the day. So give me a second and we will get there. Right? What are your observations regarding market development so far? Are you enjoying the price movements? Is your portfolio smiling? Is it turning green? In the stock market, we have two distinct color codes. The market is either red or green. Sometimes it could be neutral, and that means maybe sky blue or light blue. But most of the times, it's either red or green. Red representing a loss-making moving stock for the day, and green establishing that the stock under review is gaining. So right away we go on to see the top gainers for today, right? Number one on the list is Champion Breweries. They have gained 9.91% today, currently at 6 naira 10 kobo per share. Caverton Helicopters has gained 9.78%, currently 4 naira 4 kobo. That's quite high. Caverton used to have challenges regarding their financial reports based on their airline operations. Caverton Helicopters, eventually, the reason behind the rise of Caverton is that they have gone into an agreement with, I think, a federal government agency, I don't know if it's NNPC, to build boats. And there is a contract they are about to sign, and that means Caverton is diversifying into the marine business, especially considering the focus of this present government on blue economy. If you remember, there is something called blue economy, which means the government's attempts at trying to tap into the economic prospects in the marine sector. So Caverton is going into boat building and all of those things, and that is why the stock price is moving. Some people may wonder, I could have bought, but you couldn't have bought if you didn't know what was driving the stock price. Secondly, on what basis is it currently now at 4 naira per share? You never know. So usually, news can drive the price of a stock upwards, but that may not be a justification of what you are paying for. So it will be important to know the extent of these deals, because a lot of times there is excitement over a deal, and after the news dies down, the stock price retraces. So we want to see, has this deal now positioned Caverton Helicopters in a situation where all their loss-making ventures is now adjusted to become profitable, or are they still at the same spot? Will they require more time regarding 2-3 years for this current transaction to bring them back into good time profitability? We don't know. So for us, we don't want to invest blindly. While those who held or were trapped in a stock like Caverton at 1 naira something can happily jump out, anybody running to buy Caverton at over 4 naira now, these are some of the questions you need to answer before doing that. Otherwise, they just might have started dumping on you. Okay? Third on the list is FTN Cocoa. Yesterday, I spoke about FTN Cocoa and talked about how the prospects of agriculture is good for most of these stocks, and so it's fine to take position well, irrespective of how slow FTN Cocoa is growing. the prospects are there, maybe there is also good news regarding cocoa business that may be driving FTN Cocoa's price. So number 3, FTN Cocoa, and then number 4, Darcom. 69 kobo per share, gain 7.81%. IMG, we also spoke about IMG yesterday with regards to the prospect of CNG conversion for Nigerian vehicles. International Energy Insurance is number 6, 7.1%, currently at 196 kobo. And then we have Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank, 2 naira 16 kobo at the moment. Current gain for the day 6.4%. Stanbic IBTC is next, 68 naira 50 kobo, currently at 5.38% gain. UPDC is next, 3 naira 12 kobo with a 4% gain at the moment. Honeywell Floor is number 10, 14 naira 50 kobo, gaining 3.57%. So that's it about the top 10 gainers for the day. As we always begin, when you notice that the top 10 gainers are dominated by penny stocks, it tells you whatever activity is happening in the market is not a very serious bull case. But when the top 10 is dominated by the biggest companies and the most expensive companies, then it tells you we're in a full bull market that is raging. All right? So keep your questions coming in right now. Having done that review, before I go on to see what's happening in the market, I'll start taking your questions. Once again, I appreciate all of you for being there, just striving to grow your money. I made some comments on Twitter and on Threads, and I can tell you it's still dawning on me and making sense. I'm still making sense, trying to make sense of what I posted. I said that if you are financially indisciplined, there is a certificate waiting for you. A certificate of being broke in your 50s. It will be ready in your 50s. So, but you still have a chance to actually do the right thing now. None of us here wants to be broke at 50 and above. That's why we're trying to do all we can to be financially literate and to equip ourselves to make the best of decisions regarding our finances. As Sam Peter says, sir, please, will charms likely ever go below 2 naira? Also, the likely bonus for existing shareholders. As Sam Peter, from what we are hearing from rumors that have not been confirmed yet, charms, as anticipated, instead of a bonus, because I mentioned that thing knowing fully well that the kind of business charms was expanding into, they will need to increase their capital base. And true to it, they have decided instead of bonus to go for rights issue. So charms will actually be doing rights issue. The rumor has it that rights issue will be given at a price of 1 naira 70 kobo per share. So for all existing charms shareholders, you are most likely to benefit from this, because I don't see the price dropping that low in the market. But just to encourage those who have been loyal and held onto that stock, charms will be doing a rights issue. I've forgotten what ratio it is, whether it is 1 for 2 or 1 for 5, but let's prefer to wait until an official statement that is confirmed is released in this regard. Okay, so that's what it is. So we could see from a distance things and anticipate what could happen even without getting information and actually take position. So if charms is refusing to drop below 2 today, and the management comes to say, okay, buy charms as a shareholder existing at 170, that's a beautiful bargain. And the truth is, a lot of people had expressed fears that would dilute the shares, but the truth is, there has to be the increase of the capital base. Otherwise, the company will be too weak to take on the kind of business expansion that they are already embarking upon. So if you understand these intricacies, you won't bother yourself. I remember Wema did rights issue, nothing happened. The stock price didn't collapse. Rather, Wema is gaining as we speak. UBA is also coming to the market to do rights issue to complete their capital base requirement by CBN. This year they will do so, and they've said they are not going to do public offer. They will rather reward existing shareholders with rights. So position yourself if you want to buy more so that you can be qualified to take more of your rights at 1 naira 70 kobo per share. But trust me, all of the rights will be cleared off because the owners know what they are doing, and they surely will eventually clear it off if anybody who already exists and owns charms declines to take up their rights. Okay, in case anybody is trying to find out what is rights issue, well, it is a new set of shares that the management issues to existing shareholders only. So it's similar to public offer, but in this case it's not open to the public. That's why it's called rights. So it's given at a ratio. They can say 1 for 5. For every 5 you have, they give you 1 right to pay for, or you have to pay for it. This is where it's completely different from bonus shares. So just like VFD decided they would issue bonus instead of rights, just so they can increase their capital base, Charms have gone with the idea of issuing rights. The idea is the rights issue, when sold out, will give them money for more expansion, because they do not necessarily have the general reserve sufficient enough to pay for the bonus shares if they decided let's give bonus. So they need money to keep expanding, and that's why it's coming in the form of rights. Whereas for VFD, it was actually a case of we've got sufficient resource in our general reserve, so we're going to pay for the shares that we're issuing, and therefore it becomes a bonus given to shareholders, and so they don't have to pay for it. So that's the difference. But the bottom line and the principle behind both shares being diluted in quote is that they need to increase their capital base based on the expansion of the business that they are having to embark upon. I hope this is very clear for everybody and you understand it very well. Okay? Like Owando, only news drives the price. Exactly my point. Talking about Caverton, right? Karima, that's a good point there. I mean, let me get who made that comment. So let's get the difference. A lot of stocks are going to actually be influenced by news, but beyond the news. And if you are buying the news, there's a saying in the stock market I would like to teach you so you get used to it and understand. Sometimes these things works and they come up with all of these coinages. There's a saying in the stock market parlance that says, buy the news, sell the rumor. Yeah? Buy the news, sell the rumor. So when you get concrete information that is news, you buy. But when you know it's just a rumor and stock price is jumping, you sell, because it will not last. This is not to discredit the performance in terms of share price of Caverton. All Caverton shareholders, congratulations to you. If all of the plans comes to pass and there is sufficient transparency and the deal is fantastic, the stock price will remain intact. Okay? So that's the point. Somebody made a comment. I was trying to catch it, but it looks like it's been overtaken by events. Pearl is asking, should we buy NPFM? That's Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. I do not recommend that stock more than 2 naira per share already. Let me see. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. they announced a very good dividend, I think 15 kobo per share dividend for a stock that is less than 2 naira before it now climbed to 2 naira. Very good result. And I can tell you that dividend yield is always great. It's been, and they've been consistent in paying out that dividend. Nigeria Police Force Microfinance Bank. Oh, it's jumped. Yesterday's price at 203 was very, very good. But as we speak, it's now 2 naira 20 kobo, and 9.9 million bids versus 1 million offer. It becomes very difficult now. As at yesterday, when it dipped from the 215, that was a good time to buy. In any case, if you stay patient, there will still be people who bought it at 1 naira 75 kobo that will offload. That stock has lingered for too long under 2 naira. Remember, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank was one of the banks that was also suspended for delayed publication of results, and eventually they did what they needed to do, and then the suspension on the trading of their stocks was lifted, unlike Unity Bank that remains suspended. Mutual Benefit Assurance is also one of those stocks that was suspended from trading due to their failure to submit reports. Code, do you advise we go into FTN Cocoa right now? Well, as we speak, FTN Cocoa is on full bid, and therefore it's very late to go in at the moment. Take a look, FTN Cocoa. 2 naira 50 gold from 2 naira 28, 7.8 million bids, 0 offers. And for me, I always advise you, if you do not want to lose money easily, do not chase after any stock that is flying. Once I see a stock is on full bid, I don't bother myself. I need you to get that, because if nobody is guiding you and you chase these things the way they are running, you may get your fingers burnt. So hold on, wait for it to pull back, because it will definitely pull back. It's lingered a lot under 2 naira also, and had promised so much, and nobody was paying attention. Well, there could be news behind the scene that is now driving the price up. By the way, cocoa price internationally is firing, so that could also be a reason why FTN Cocoa is now flying. Nima Awak says, please, what are the stocks one can buy now and at what price, please? Nima, we always search for opportunities. Sometimes a stock can close, for instance, say 10 naira yesterday, and in the course of trading, somebody comes in, and even though it's okay to buy at 10 naira, you find a bargain at 9 naira 50 kobo, which is good, so that if there's any general market fluctuation, it does not hit your portfolio so hard. Why? A lot of times, it is at your entry price that you make money. So what price you buy a stock matters a lot, and this will now take me straight to searching for opportunities amongst the companies that we are watching that are very good. For instance, sometimes it doesn't work that way. You are expecting a stock to pull back, it doesn't. And then you wait and wait and wait, it is rising. That's when the temptation to buy even increases. And talking about a stock like TIP, we've been waiting for TIP to come below 6 after shooting very quickly to above 6. And it's rather refused and climbed to 7. But this is where the temptation gets heightened. Everybody else who wanted TIP might just decide, I'm tired of waiting, I've got to buy it because the way I'm seeing it is going to 10. But it won't go to 10 just like that. There will always be a pullback. So let's go to one of the stocks we are monitoring to see where opportunities are. And then for you who is asking this question, sometimes it depends on how much you have. If you have sufficient, a large chunk of money to invest, then we're talking about, okay, you can go for the big guns. But if your capital is not that much, then you want to look for penny stocks that has prospects. So I'm going through all of them to now mention those stocks based on what the prices are, whether they are good or not, or what price is okay. Okay? First, we go on to the growth sector. I'm seeing Telarans flying. This stock is always illiquid. Take a look, just 98,000 shares traded so far, and yet the stock price keeps going. So if you want to buy now, you have 167,000 shares to buy if you are ready to buy everything. But I'm not saying this is a stock to buy. I'm just saying sometimes there are some stocks I will not recommend because of liquidity problem. What is liquidity problem? It's not frequently traded in good volumes. The problem with illiquid stocks like this is no matter how the price moves, when you decide that you want to sell your 1 million shares, you may not see buyer for 1 week to buy 10,000 shares. It happens a lot. So, and then a lot of times, even if the stock price is at the roof, it's either you're not seeing an offer or the offer you are seeing is the worst offer for the day. So you want to enjoy liquidity so that anytime you have need to sell your stocks, you are able to offload as quickly as possible. So on this growth board, we're looking at TIP, and TIP actually sold down to 7 naira today. In fact, it dropped to 6 naira 90 kobo. Somebody actually placed an offer for 6 naira 90 kobo when the stock was cleared up to 7 naira range, and that 6 naira 90 kobo has been bought off, currently 710. But you know what? The bids are less than the offer. At this point, the hunger for TIP is no longer there. People are now beginning to reason, well, they paid only 10 kobo from the 1 naira they made, and why should I be buying 7 naira for this stock? So we have 461,000 shares being bidded for versus 1 million shares on offer. So we are getting close to when TIP will be dropping below the 7. By the way, it closed at 6 naira 90 kobo yesterday. So all things being equal, there has to be a pullback below 7, and let's see what Friday holds. So that's one stock we are watching, but it's not a very good time to enter yet. We'll go to the premium board. We're seeing Dangote Cement. If you have money, that's a whole lot. 438 naira currently per share. 2 million offers versus 300,000 being bidded for. Good stock, has good prospects going forward, but you need a lot of money and you need patience to benefit from this. First hold code, that's First Bank, 24 naira 90 kobo. I can say 24 naira 90 kobo, that's under 25. It's a good buy for First Bank. MTN is at 271. I will not go for this because it rose very rapidly from 245 or so to 280. So I would rather be patient and wait until it bottoms out from the drop it is dropping. Yesterday it was at 279, today it's 274. WAPCO is one good stock to keep an eye on. WAPCO is 100 naira stock and above, honestly, but currently at 78 naira per share. We watch and see. If you have good money, it's good to take position there in WAPCO. 78 naira per share means to buy 10,000 shares, you need 780,000 naira. Right? Yeah. So 1,000 shares of WAPCO, you will need 78,000 naira. Zenith Bank, quite good to buy. My ideal price would be 47 and below, but currently at 48.20. That's because by the time the half-year result is eventually announced later this year and interim dividend declared, I'm sure that Zenith Bank should cross 50. So 47 and below is good, currently 48.20. Then we'll go on to the rest of the stocks. RRL continues to stagnate where it is, 464 naira per share, but continues to close at 503 naira at the close of trading. That's because a deal of 100,000 block shares has to be done at this 464 or anything below 500 before the stock price will change at the close of trading. Otherwise, it continues to close at 503 naira. So at the moment, if this trend continues, you are able to buy Aradel at 464, and by the time the market closes and you check your portfolio valuation summary, you are that's about 36 naira up per share in capital gains for Aradel. Nafisa is asking, good afternoon, coach. Please, where do you go to check for the top gainers and losers? I use stock bubbles. www.stockbubbles.com. stockbubbles.com.ng. All right, I hope that clears you. stockbubbles.com.ng. Okay, I know, I happen to know the person who has that site. In fact, he follows me on Twitter, and we'll continue to exchange knowledge. All right, so feel free to use that resource material to continue to gauge stock performances and daily stock summaries. All right. So we'll take a look at this. I've already spoken a lot about Cavatin. Well, irrespective of whatever I have to say, Cavatin is on full bid, 28 million shares being bidded for. So there are insiders who know more details regarding this deal. Can you imagine 28 million shares of Cavatin being bidded for versus zero offer? So far, 3.6 million shares have been traded, valued at just 14.6 million naira. So sometimes, even when you are having a losing stock, hold it. I think Nafisa said something about this when she spoke about both TIP and CHAMS. Even when a negative report, I'm talking about financial report, is published about a stock that you have, do not sell, because I am feeling the pain of some people who might have sold their Cavatin at 2 naira, because it lingered under 2 naira for a long time. And so when it got to 2 naira, it quickly sold, because a whole lot of developments happen behind the scene beyond reports and stock price movement. And a lot of times, if you have been patient, you actually get rewarded in this market. If you can be, honestly speaking, I published something else on Twitter and Threads this morning. And I said, one thing I love about the stock market is that even if you don't have big money to grow your wealth, you can actually grow from where you are if you have patience and time. And those two does not cost money. From where you are, you can build with whatever you have. Just make patience and time your own asset, and it doesn't cost money. Okay? So that's about that. Coach, is it advisable to increase one's stake in VFD at the current price or lower cars? Well, it's up to you. It still boils down to what I speak about: patience. By all means, do well to stay patient in whatever you do. So if you are convinced that you want to buy more VFD, please go ahead and buy. Okonkwo said TIP is, I guess you mean TIP is on track? Absolutely. For everybody who keyed into that stock earlier, fantastic. Coach, please, where to click to check the top gainers and losers? Okay, where to click? Let's see, where to click? Just click on day, you will see some drop down menus on the top. From the top left, you see hour, day, week, month. So you can actually check in the last 1 hour, the top gainers. But I use day, that is the current top gainers for the day. There's also top gainers for the week, top gainers for the month, top gainers year on year. Wherever you see year on year, you know, we are in an educational setting as well. We like to educate. Wherever you are reading anything regarding financial reports and whatever, and you see Y, O, Y, anyhow they write it, usually they write the O in a small letter, but the first Y and the last Y is in capitals. However you see it, once you see Y-O-Y, it means year on year. Year on year simply means from January till date in that very year. Year on year, year to date. YTD is from January till that very day you are doing your research. Year to date, YTD. But year on year means in the last 1 year, that is from by this time last year till now. That's year on year. Okay? I hope I didn't confuse you. So that's it. Year on year. So you will see year on year top gainers. That is in the last 1 year, the top gainers. You click on year on year. So what I use is day, and it goes all like that. And you will see the year to date also, YTD. And then you will now see top active, the most active. That's in terms of volume, the number of stocks, the particular stock that has been traded the most in terms of volume. You know, volume is not everything here because stock prices are different, but volume is also an indicator of where money is going and where attention is. Okay, then you have most. Okay, I said most traded, and then unchanged. So just click on day and then scroll down. When you scroll down, you will now see all the details. Purple hibiscus is surprised. It says tip is above 7 naira. Yeah. So do you have something to say? Did you buy tip? How much did you buy? When did you buy? Conco says bitter glass is on magic. Bitter glass is on something else. Wow, Rebuild and Rise says Prophet Coach. Ooh, says Prophet Coach. All my account looking green, foreign and Nigeria. Wonderful. Isn't that fantastic? Interesting stuff. It's good to hear. So that's a new title now, Prophet Coach. And then D says, Rebuild and Rise. Mine is mostly red. D, can we discuss your situation? Let's know what stocks you have in your portfolio. You know, sometimes we're in this together, and so we can actually do some damage limitation and manage the situation. So D, can you call in wherever you are, if you are able to call in, and let's talk about your portfolio and see how I can assist if you can rebalance. Oh, Mr. Clean, it's good to have you. Very good afternoon to you. Where have you been? I need you to call in and let's talk. VOO says, I perceive it's time to sell tip if you have acquired before now. Well, the prophetess is speaking now from her own perspective. So if you bought under 2 naira, oh my, Chris, I'm so sorry, so sorry. Says he lost his mother. So sorry. This is not the kind of news anybody wants at this time, because it just tears you apart and also destabilizes you. So sorry about that, Chris. Welcome back. I hope you stay strong, and God will help comfort your family. On behalf of this family, Network Investors Club, and this community, please accept our condolences. Our prayers are with you at this very trying times, okay? Good afternoon, Coach. Is QTix at 258 Kobo a good buy now? Smart T, where have you been? up till some 3-4 days ago, TIP was at QTIX was at 230. In any case, 258 is not bad, because when QTIX decides to move, it should be heading above 3. Let's see how much it is at this minute. 258 is actually even down from the 260. Okay, that's because there's a whole lot of supply. So 5 million shares on offer versus 1.3 bidded for. So there could be a chance to buy it even cheaper, but currently at 258, not too bad. I would suggest you stay patient and see what happens between now and Friday, because the supply is a lot, 5 million versus 1 million. Okay, so instead of rushing to buy at 258, stay patient, see between tomorrow and next, which is Friday, when the market can actually be weary. Coach, my foreign stocks are doing great, especially Palantir. Man, that stock is on fire. Inemo Bosco, congratulations. You listened and you keyed in. And one advantage you had is that you actually had money by your side, because there were so many others who could have taken action, but they were heavily invested and couldn't find spare cash. And I congratulate all of you in this community. This is the best place to be if you want to grow money. A situation where you are hungry for money to invest. That's what this community will do for you. Instead of blowing the money you have and becoming a candidate of urgent 2K. You know that thing they say about urgent 2K. Nobody can be a part of this community and still be in that category of urgent 2K. So all what you are doing is you are building capacity to take on whatever financial challenge that comes up tomorrow. Yeah? Delayed gratification always rewards you mightily. Okay, Real Jerry says, Coach, what is your thought on First Holdco? I think First Holdco has a great future ahead, considering all the cleanup that has been done, led by the chairman Femi Otedola, and they are trying to re-establish themselves as the number one in the banking industry. With that statement, groundbreaking event of the tallest building, soon to be the tallest building in Nigeria. That's talking about the First Bank Tower that is being built in Eco Atlantic City. So ordinarily, First Bank is bouncing back, and good dividend is one thing that they will eventually start paying, which will grow the stock. So it is good to accumulate it now, especially if you don't have most of these other expensive banks yet, maybe because of the price. So 24, fantastic entry price for First Holdco, because going forward, First Holdco should be selling for between 30 and 35 in the medium term. So this affords anybody who does not have it to go in. 25 million naira will afford you 1 million shares, and you go to sleep. Then every time they declare something like, they decide to declare 3 naira dividend, that's 3 million naira in your account. Then should the stock price shoot to 30, 35, the 25 million becomes 35 million naira. This is how we simply use the stock market to grow wealth. I know you are doing great. Okay, Real Jerry says, this is my daily financial class. You are just wonderful, sir. I appreciate and respect you for your doggedness and your humility. You are a leader, and but you remain calm and humble, acquiring more knowledge to what you already have been made of. Walk tall, need fasting and prayers to build those virtues. I'm paying dearly for my impatience. Oh my, so sorry about that. Well, one thing about the stock market is that it gives us the chance to right our wrongs and errors. So sometimes some of these things really can't be taught, honestly speaking. And that's why I like the stock market. I can only talk and talk and talk, but some mistakes should actually be welcome. because it drives home the lesson. So if we are not able to catch it in words that we are spoken to, then in action, we make the mistake and it hurts us in a way we will not forget. That way you have learned that particular mistake for life. So you will never have to make it anymore. Then you take advantage of that lesson. That's why they say experience is the best teacher. Your teacher can flog you to learn something. Your mentor or coach can keep telling you about something, and somehow, some way, not because you decide to be disobedient, but you just can't really trap it. But one sure banker way for something to drive home and stay there and become unforgettable is when we actually make the mistake. So that brings me back to what I was saying about the stock market being lenient enough to always offer us another chance. So the mistake you have made, don't flog yourself for it. See it as a lesson that you will now take good advantage of going forward as opportunities present. The other day, Fortune Ojenama was talking and said she miscalculated and sold a bitter glass that she bought at, I think, 60 naira per share or so, when it dropped to 50 something or thereabouts. And then after she sold, it jumped back to 60, then 70, then 80, then 90. As we speak, that stock hit 190. We're talking about a space of 6 months. That lesson she will never forget has taught her that patience. So when she was talking about it, I said, now consider that as your school fees. You have just that money you lost. You have paid school fees to learn patience in another way. So just loosen up and tell yourself, well, lesson learned, we move, okay? And then watch how you will now master this thing and deal with every situation as they come. Right? Okay. So it's like that, you know. Someone said something, I don't know if it's Warren Buffett that said it. He said, like the Lord, you know this saying, they say, heaven helps those who help themselves, right? They always say heaven helps those who help themselves, both in negative way and in positive way. If you try to help yourself to learn, acquire knowledge, heaven will help you with opportunities that you will use to grow, okay? Then some people use it to say, well, you have to be corrupt so that you now enjoy life. But that's the wrong way to use that saying. Heaven helps those who help themselves. So somebody made that quotation. I don't know if it's Warren Buffett anymore, or he says, like the Lord, the stock market helps those who help themselves. But unlike the Lord, it does not forgive those who know not what they are doing. You know, there's also a saying that when Jesus died, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Okay? But you can't tell that to the stock market. That's what that individual was saying. He said, like the Lord, heaven helps those. The stock market helps those who help themselves. But unlike the Lord, it does not forgive those who know not what they are doing. If you heard that and it made sense to you, just type, I heard, or I hear. I want to know that somebody is hearing me, so I'm not just blabbing and talking to myself. If you heard that, just type the words, I hear. Okay, I go on to check if there are callers. Okay, no callers yet. All right, I'm seeing you there. Michelle says, I hear. Eugene says, I hear. Real Jerry says, I hear you, coach. Ife Chukude says, I hear. Alated King says, I hear. Okay. Asan Pete says, I hear. I see. Olaiton, Luchi Naturals, Ade Showy. Okay. Vishiroy. I'm always struggling with the letters that you use. Okay. Benita is in the building. I hear. Atlas says, I hear. Interesting. Shegu Arawi. Okay. It means I'm being heard. At least I'm sure I'm not alone now. Dozier says, I overhear. Interesting. All right, so what we are trying to do is so that we are not in the category of people who do not know what they are doing in the market. We know what we're doing. That's why we are now benefiting from the international market. A lot who didn't know what they were doing went ahead and sold their stocks out of fear and panic. You know, when the foreign market was crashing, I kept telling us, relax, take it easy, and we'll get out of this. It's not the worst stock market crash ever. This will come out of this very fast. The fear was a lot, and it's all part of the training. If you have never been involved, you watch your USD that you put in your account and use to buy stocks dropping, it will really affect you, but you need to get used to this. It's part of the ingredients. It's part of the qualities of a successful investor in the stock market, right? So I even went ahead to hold a live voice session in our Discord group, talking to our members that, look, listen, this is where guidance is required. This is where you need my 27 years experience. Calm down, don't lose money, don't panic, don't do anything stupid. Just be calm, leave your portfolio the way it is. If you have extra cash, this is not the time to sell. This is the time to average down on whatever you have bought that looks like it's dropping. All the losses recorded during this tariff war has been recovered and back in profit everywhere, on the S&P, on the Dow Jones, on NASDAQ, everywhere. So if you held onto your stock and never even averaged down, I can assure you are in profit. That's what we're talking about. Okay, Nafisa is saying, Coach, please talk about name it. I have personally taken note of name it, that it is being ignored based on the poor performance last year. And there is no how that a stock like May and Baker, which actually always does well in terms of its reports, in terms of its finances. The only problem is that a lot of times the stock price just refuses to behave. And that is not unconnected with the situation with their poor dividend payouts. In any case, suddenly, May and Baker has woken up, 12 naira, getting to 12 naira, and so on and so forth. Well, the higher May and Baker rises, the more people will turn their attention to a stock like Nemet. The only problem is, are they out of challenge right now? That's the only problem. But I can tell you, the local pharmaceutical companies will do well, and it's just a matter of time for Nemet to bounce back. So I would say, if you are interested in Nemet, stay patient and keep buying under 3 naira. Don't buy more than 3 naira. For Nemet, it has to be justified before you buy at 3 naira. So little by little, place your bids under 3 naira. Whatever it drops down, holders will always sell. Those who bought at one, I was mentioning Nemet also at 190. 190 kobo, it rose to over 3 naira before it dropped after the poor result. But you see, it hasn't dropped below 2. But some people who bought at 190 may eventually become impatient and sell down below 3 again. So every time those sales happen, you just take some and relax. Because eventually, the Nemet team will also try to change things and make it better. Oh, you bought at 215? Great. So just stay patient. Now, a situation you don't want is where you get tired and sell, and then the things start moving. That has happened to people in CWG. It has happened to people now in May and Baker. Yeah. Please, Coach, advise me, QTix or First Holdco for a long time. Wow, that's difficult to tell, but I would say, depending on the volume of cash, you can go ahead to buy Success Mindset. Thank you very much. I see all the gifts you are spreading. Guys, don't relent. Keep going. Keep liking. Keep sharing this live session and keep giving gifts. That's how we get more attention of people who need information. We can't keep coming every day and going alone with it. Imagine if I had kept this information to myself. Look at your portfolios. Any gains you have made now wouldn't be there. Perhaps, maybe, wouldn't be there. All right. So keep sharing, keep liking, keep giving gifts. That's the way we generate attention on these platforms to enable more people to join and change their financial fortune. Right? A lot of people are struggling with what they shouldn't. If you look at what they are earning, but they don't have the knowledge, and nobody's sacrificing the time to reach out to people. So where we find a space like this, let's capitalize on it and help many others. By so doing, you are partnering with me to drive the investment inclusion of more Nigerians. You know, Nigeria is blessed with human population. Do you know that the more people that invest in the stock market, the more money you make? Are you aware of that? One day I will do that analysis, but who needs it? Nobody, except those of you who are trying to invest and help more people. Because when more people come and learn about TIP, more people will start chasing TIP, more people will start chasing Zenith Bank, more people will start chasing QTICs. In other words, the more money that comes into the market, the greater advantage for you who is already in the market. I'm sitting here now telling you, I bought UBA at 7 naira, I bought NACO at 9 naira. Look at how much it is. And you are buying NACO now at 70 something naira. That's how, as you buy, more people get into the market, and these companies are still doing well, your own investment will be growing because more money will be chasing those stocks that you bought. This is as simple as it gets, but it's not something we can do by ourselves because we are too small compared to the number of people that are generally buying and selling in the market. In other words, just do the little you can. You are saving a life when whatever you do on the screen eventually attracts somebody. So, VC Roy says, Coach, can you please talk about Fitzin, Nemeth, May, and Baker? Well, I've just spoken about the pharmaceutical industry, and Fitzin is on top of the game right now. You know, the moment most of those foreign pharmaceutical companies pulled out of Nigeria, it made the coast clear for the locals. And these are the local pharmaceutical companies. So if you take position in anyone you can afford and relax there for the long term. So Okasam, QTICs of first holdco depends on how much you have. If the money is substantial, I think you should buy a lot of first holdco. QTICs, because it's still cheap, you can always get more later on. That's what I think. But first holdco can run out of reach and become more difficult to accumulate. Assemble said, Coach, please talk about ticker symbol NVAX. That's Novavax. The other day somebody was asking, how come Novavax dropped from $200 to $6? That's because in 2019, 2020, during COVID, this was one of the flying stocks. As a result of their, it's a biotechnology company, biomedical technology company in the US, and they were in the forefront of those who were looking for vaccines against COVID. COVID came swept across the world, frightened everybody more than things like AIDS and any other, maybe something close to Ebola, but Ebola was not that dangerous, that sweeping. So COVID came, and everybody who had, any company who had anything to do with vaccine, nose mask, hand sanitizers, they were all flying. That was when Novavax flew to $200 per share, currently $6 per share, and there is a prospect. I mentioned it in amongst the two stocks I was going to buy on Monday, and I have them right now. They had some very bad patches. Up till their last financial year, it was bad. So if you are looking at the 2024 results now, it's poor. Well, let me mention it again. But just take a look at the video I posted about Novavax, the two stocks I'm going to buy, the two US stocks I was going to buy. That was on Monday. Take a look at that video, it explains everything so that I don't waste too much time. Novavax has become profitable this year. And so things are beginning to turn. And so it's a good candidate for a momentum trade or swing trade. Or if you like, stay as long as you want. But Novavax is going to be resurrecting soon. That's why I put it side by side with ACMR, which is a much more stable, comfortable, and long-term, fundamentally sound stock. And we have seen how far it's going. Gradually, little by little, those stocks don't fly like idiots. Sorry to use that word. But there are some stocks, day trade stocks, that jump 100% in one day, 500% in one day. These ones will not do that, but steady and surely, ACMR will jump. So it's gone so far from 19 to 24, got to 25 yesterday. I don't know if it's closed under 25. Showy says, I love panic sellers. They make room for those of us that are brave. Exactly, you need bravery to actually make a good move and money in this market. D says, can anyone tell me if Coach has talked about Veritas before and what he thinks? Veritas had a fantastic result last year, but it got bad towards the end of last year, and most of their earnings were swept away. That's because they had to pay up billions in insurance premiums. Veritas Cap is an insurance company, life insurance company, and that eventually scuttled the price rise. Veritas rose to about 1 naira 40 something kobo, but unfortunately it had to retrace. So if you are looking at taking position in Veritas, it's always good to buy at 1 naira and below. Don't buy more than 1 naira, because the fluctuation will still continue until maybe something more concrete is established this time. Okay. Sir, please, what stocks can I buy for swing trade with 1.5 million? Do you mean Nigerian company? How come no one is asking about ABC? They have done over 100% so far. Chuka, Obona, they've spoken a lot about ABC, but ABC currently now is losing. People need to know what it is backing it. You know, it's happened with tantalizers. There was news of a takeover. Now we need to see the numbers. We need to make informed investment decisions, and it's from the numbers we decide. Apart from the news that drives the stock price up, what is the fundamental? It is for that reason that I will now put money down and say long-term investing. Otherwise, whatever is going on now is a matter of just time. It will fizzle out. Then the question will not arise, where are the numbers to justify the current price? So we need to understand this, enjoy the ride while it lasts, based on the euphoria of new changes happening, but in the end, the market will judge each company. For instance, tantalizers cannot continue rising and get to fall, right? Many other stocks have done that. Finally, the market will reward those ones that are justified. That's why a stock like TIP still stands out amongst many stocks that have risen and have been justified. Veritas was going to do that, but broke down based on the heavy payout, like I mentioned, towards the end. You know, insurance companies, they can do well first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Fourth quarter is when they pay most of the premium, most of those damages that happens, cars that are insured, buildings that get burnt and destroyed, and so on. All those insurance payments, you have to pay out those premiums. That's the time that their books take a hit, and if it is not well managed, it can sweep away every good thing that they made in the first 3 quarters of the year. So ABC, whatever good news it is, maybe they are acquiring or they are partnering with an airline company to go into the airline industry, whatever the news. In the end, what are the numbers saying? So after the excitement comes reality for all of these stocks. It's the same with a stock like any other company that comes to get listed as an IPO, right? Most recently, we got Legend Internet listed, and the price jumped from the listing price of 5 naira 64 kobo to 11 naira. But currently, it's doing around 8 naira because the excitement is dying down. Coach, will multiverse get to 15? I can't sit down here and boldly tell you what figure the stock price will get to. But all I can say is anything is possible in the market, irrespective of the numbers backing them. Coach, what do you think about Okomu oil? Vic the Great. Actually, Okomu oil always does this back and forth, catch up with Cresco. So, if you ask me, at 550 naira, let's see how much Okomu is. At 550 naira, Okomu oil is actually a good stock to buy. Okomu oil is actually a good stock to buy at 550. Let's just see what the current price is, and then we'll take it up from there. They are trying their best, but I know that in the long term they can't really do much in terms of competing with Cresco, because the gap continues to increase based on what Cresco has been involved in. But Okomu, I think it's fair at 550. Let's see how much it is, so we can be able to determine. Yeah, 550. And not much interest in it. 27,000 shares up till now has been traded. 597,000 bids versus 125,000 offers. So the point I'm trying to make is every time Okomu sees a bigger gap between it and Cresco, it tries to cover up. So if we take a look at the 52 weeks high of Okomu, it's close to it, 568 naira per share, whereas the 52 weeks low is 265. But should Cresco run even higher, then Okomu will move to something around 600. So keep an eye on Cresco. Should Cresco move, you know, Cresco had already touched 900 within this week. If Cresco goes to 900 and above, Okomu will have no other choice but to step up to 600. Take a look at their 52 weeks low, very close there. 52 weeks low is 1 year ago, the lowest price the stock has sold. And I'm looking at Okomu there, 265 naira. Somebody bought Okomu within the last 1 year at 265. Now guess what? For Cresco, the 52 weeks low is 289 naira. Very close, 265, 289. But as time went on, the gap began to widen. And that's how we got here. 548 naira for Okomu currently, and 879 for Cresco. So the longer we continue to proceed with what Cresco has put on ground, the gap will keep getting wider. Okomu is an older establishment. They are going to be dealing a lot with old equipment and trying to scale up production while still dealing with community crisis that they actually suffered last year. Whereas Cresco is dealing with latest technology and continues to expand That was why they took that loan. Is it 700 billion or is it 100 billion? 100 billion, I think. I can't really recall exactly what the figure is. They took a loan. They did a commercial paper and proceeded to acquire an outfit in Ghana. Now that outfit in Ghana eventually now affords them the opportunity to export their products to the international market. That means they will be earning dollars. You know, it is illegal to export palm oil officially, something like that. So, but that business in Ghana now that also has a rubber plant. The prospects for Presco is so much and continues to grow bigger compared to Okobo. And that's why the gap is now showing. 1 year ago, they were very close, 200 and something, 200 and something. Now we're talking about 800 and something versus 500 and something. I hope that does justice to your question. Do I have a caller? No caller yet? Okay. Sorry, Instagram family, I must talk to you now. Good day, coach. What do you think about Jai's Bank, Scooby Lion? Jai's at 320. It has stayed there for a while, but sometimes it drops to say 310. My ideal price for Jai's would have been 3. That is if there's a major market downturn. I remember calling this Jai's at 245. I said the days of Jai's at 245 is over. It didn't take up to 2 weeks afterwards. Jai's climbed above 3 and has refused to come down. So it's consolidating above 3, meaning it may be difficult to go below 3. And so if you see 310, it's a good entry. Then should it drop further than 3, you buy more and lower your entry price. Rebuild and Rise says, Coach, what about NEO? You reminded me of one of my best stocks those days, the U.S. market. NEO is a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. NEO used to be the one who was giving Tesla a run for its money. NEO, being a Chinese company, could build electric vehicles at very cheap price, and that competed a lot, but eventually suffered. I benefited a lot from NEO. I bought NEO at $7, $9, then $14. Those 3 prices. NEO went on to shoot above $40 per share years back. Okay? So for now, I don't know if NEO is staging a comeback, but it hasn't been very pretty for them in recent times. Let me see what the situation is with them. A lot of times when China and America has issues, most of these Chinese stocks are always abandoned in the US market. I'm talking about Alibaba, Pinduoduo, and all those Chinese stocks. But they can make you a lot of money as well. So let me see what's the situation with NEO. That's it. Oh, $4. $4.17. Let's see what the problem has been all along. Okay, the last 1 month, again 23%. NEO has really suffered. So if I go onto the 5-year chart, because what I'm seeing here, the highest price it's got to in the last 1 year is $7. Wow, just $7 in the last 1 year, $7. But if I go back, let me see where I was talking about. That's it. You see, January 2021. This is when I was talking about $58 per share NEO. I think this is the height of its rise, but I think I sold around 40 something. But it got up to $58 per share. 2021 January, that's 4 years ago. In fact, I'm saying $61 per share. This was when it was giving Tesla a run for its money. but eventually, as you can see, it started going down onto $4 right now. So we are seeing the worst days of NEO at the moment. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, though it has sold for $3 before also. $3 as of April, just last month, it sold as low as $3 per share. So, you know that saying that he that is down needs fear no fall. We need to go back and investigate what's going on with NEO, what's the latest situation, analyst expectations, analyst reviews, and the last quarter results. What are the prospects, and maybe management's guidance for the next quarter result. All of those things. If we find anything positive, then it's good to take position here, because the least it has gone in the last 1 year is 3 naira, right? This is one of the easiest ways to actually make up your mind if you are satisfied with the behavior or the details of the company. So the least it can drop to from your 4 naira if you buy now is 3 naira 77 kobo. Otherwise, as things begin to pick up, then NEO should start finding its way up. But first, look for positive results around it, and let's know whether this is the time to start taking position. That's a good one. Thank you very much. I'm seeing a lot of questions that I need to respond to. What about NACO and Mansard? Sir, Nafisa, Mansard actually, excuse me, Mansard is coming from hitting as high as 9 naira plus, and seems to have found a support above 8, right? So I think it's one of the upcoming best insurance companies that will eventually grow. So if you want to take position, why not? I actually took position in Mansard at 8 naira 30 kobo. Currently, let's see, most recently, I was looking for the next cornerstone insurance. The next custodian. Custodian is the best insurance company in terms of performance and price as well. So Mansard has a very solid pedigree because, like I said, well, it's down to 8 naira 27 kobo. 52 weeks high for Mansard. Okay, it's even touched 10 naira before, 10 naira 80 kobo, almost 11. So keep an eye on it. Should it drop lower on Friday, maybe you can take position. But it stayed at 9 for a long time before it dropped. What of OPFI, coach? OPFI is a stock I kept mentioning around $9 per share. I really can't tell exactly, but the fundamentals are very good as at then, and it looks like it's also picking up. OPFI, let's see. I know somebody bought at 9 here. I think he mentioned it the other day. He was here. OPFI. Okay, it's 12 now. Not too bad. Not too bad, but it has actually made 50% gain in the last 1 month. Can you beat that? That's 50%. What? The last 6 months, 84% gain. Year to date, just like I told you the other time, and that's from January till now, it's gained 59%. And then in the last 1 year, OPFI has gained 311%. Yeah. So let me see in the last 1 year how high. The highest it got to the last 1 year was this February. This February, OPFI was as high as $16.94. Yes. So this is what you get when you find yourself in the stock market. No other place are you going to be able to going to be getting all these returns that we're looking at here. Leaving your money in the bank, old syllabus. Doing fixed deposit, old syllabus. The idea is use the stock market, grow your money fast, then start moving them to reasonable money market instruments. Okay. Can we sell Gregu shares now? Violet for love. Violet, please sell your Gregu shares and move your money elsewhere. The problem is, can you find a buyer? Because Gregu is always in full offer. Let's see what the situation is at the moment. Gregu power. That's it. Always in full offer. 3.2 million offered, 0 bid. Currently today it's sold, wow, it's sold quite a lot. Oh, that's a lot. 514,000 Gregu shares worth 528 million naira. So ½ billion naira worth of Gregu shares have been sold today. Okay. What price is good to buy Mansard, coach? Well, if you find it currently 820, I bought 830 and I'm just relaxed. If you find it below 8, that would be fantastic. But whether it gets below 8 is another question altogether. It all depends on how impatient the seller is. Richie says, thank you, coach. I am currently studying what you sent to me. All right, Richie. Showy says, I am holding Gregu, I am not selling. Okay, coach, what about BioChrist? I wish we have all the time to really scrutinize some of these stocks that you guys are bringing up. This is from Sahara Scrolls. Because of time, I'm not able to really do a proper analysis of these stocks. BioChrist, right? BioChrist Pharmaceuticals, BCRX. Currently $10 per share. Let's look at the financials. Oh, BioChrist is in loss. Regarding their 2024 full year result, they recorded $88.88 million loss. And so if you are looking at that stock based on based on fundamentals, it's not too fantastic. But again, just like Novavax, you want to check what their first quarter result is if they have started turning the corner. All right, Grace wants to talk. Let's get Grace on so we can hear her. While Grace is coming up, let me see what my Instagram family has to say. I came in when you were rounding off a discussion on Charms rights issue offer. Can you please talk about it? Sorry, it's difficult for me to go back and forth. That's why we download the live session for the information of everybody listening.
Hello, Coach. Good afternoon.
You will see all my social media handles there. Go to my YouTube channels to revisit all of the sessions. It's live session. The full video is always uploaded. Definitely video is already there. So, hello, Grace. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me? Uh-oh. No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Why? Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Do you have up to
Good
1,000?
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Huh? No, I don't.
Okay. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from for protocol sake.
Okay, my name is Grace, and I'm calling from Italy.
Thank you very much, Grace.
Okay, my son is turning 18, and he received €200 as a gift, and I would have loved to buy stock for him, but he doesn't have a Nigerian bank account, and I don't want to use mine to buy for him this thing. So I was wondering which U.S. stock would you recommend for him to buy, because I want him to open a trading 212 app so that he will start investing by himself.
I wish I can take a look at my. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I'm hearing you.
You can buy a bit of ACMR and RCAP.
ACMR. And what? Sorry.
RCAT. AT. R for rice. C for cat.
Ah,
A for ant. And T for toy.
okay. R cat and ACMR. Okay, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, coach.
All right.
Okay. Have a nice day, coach. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
And thank you for all you do, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you very
God
much.
bless you. Bye bye.
Bye. That reminds me, RCAT Holdings, that's it. Currently $6.38 in the US market. It's almost trying to gain 8% already in pre-market. Currently in pre-market, it's flashing $6.90. Closed $6.38 yesterday. Currently 6.90 in pre-market. Let's take a look. 5 days, in the last 5 days, it's already gained 20% in the last 5 days. And then, but in the last 1 month, it's 9%. In the last 6 months, it's gained 65%. Year to date, it has lost 50%. That's the catch. Between January and now, 50% lost. And that's part of the what do you call tariff war crisis that happened. So this stock was badly hit by the tariff war. As you can see, it was $13 in January, in fact $14 on January 6th, and it's now $6.38 yesterday. So a recovery is in the cards, but guess what? Even though between January and now it has lost 50% of its value, in the last 1 year, this stock has gained 436%. 436%. That's it. So, as at 15th of May 2024, exactly 1 year ago, it was selling for $1.11. $1.11. And then it goes on to rise. By December, it went to $11 per share and came down and rose again, this time to $14 on the 30th of December before it started to come down. January 5th was $10, then it came down hard. March dropped to $4. Then it rose a little bit. April $6, and then that trade war came back and flushed it down to $4.66. So from that um, April trade war crisis that dropped it to $4.66, it's beginning to rise back up, and that's why you have 1 month showing 9%. So Arrowcat is on its way back. Anybody who is interested in this story, look around for the details of their performance. By the way, they have a net loss of $24 million for 2024. Net loss of $24 million for 2024 on top of a revenue of $17.8 million. So decide what you want to do. Be safe. It's the fundamentals are not too fantastic, but there is a likelihood for it to start coming back up. Which stock can I buy for swing within 2 to 3 months? Tell me, Tokwe, what exchange are you looking at, foreign or local? Coach, please, is this good time to buy Geregu? Okay, I've responded to that on Instagram. O Dorin says, Coach, is Mansard long term or short term? It's long terms. It's long term, please. So, what's happening to Geregu shares? Well, looks overpriced and nobody's interested in buying more, especially considering that they paid dividend that is nothing near anything reasonable in terms of the yield when you compare to the stock price. Chukalisi says, good afternoon, coach. Just joining now. Hope I have not missed too much. Well, whatever you have missed is a lot, but you can actually go back to the YouTube channel and watch all of it from start to finish. Because later 6 p.m. today, the full video will be uploaded for those in America, Canada, and any part of the world where they are not able to connect because of time difference, and those who are working and can't tune in because of work. See, we are here to serve you and to serve you better. Please, the name of the stock, please, Omo B, it's RCAT I was talking about. It's not one of the most fantastic in terms of fundamentals, but it has very good prospect of a good swing trade. I've taught you about swing. Swing. You buy a stock today, you sell it in 3 days or 1 week or 1 month, 2 months, 3 months when you see reasonable profit. That's swing trade. It's not day trade, it's not medium term investment, it's not long term. Wafi Doc says, Coach, what do you have to say about Fubo TV? Well, that's another stock that I have my eyes on just to play the momentum. Another swing trade stock. Fubo, every time it drops to $2, it's time to buy. Worst case it can do is to drop below 2, but it surely will bounce back to around 3, 4, 5. Now let's take a look at Fubo. Fubo is an online sports streaming TV channel or company. Okay, these are all this particular Fubo also is a swing trade, and then they got involved in a deal that may just be announced that could push the stock price up. Fubo is also in the U.S. market. I'll give you details of it jumping from between 2, 3, and 5. So when you see it from 2, all right, as you can see, it's 294. Yesterday it gained 3% from 280 or thereabout to 294. In pre-market it showed 295. Usually it will go ahead and touch something like 5 from here. So if you have the patience to wait a bit, these are the easiest ways to trade US stocks, swing trade. When you identify it, you stay in it. You don't just buy any and any stocks, but when a stock is spoken about and you see that, okay, I'll get into this and wait, even if it drops, it won't drop too low. I have a chance of waiting it through a couple of months maximum, and then I sell at a profit. So in the last 5 days, Fubo has gained 12%. The last 6 months, Fubo has gained actually 88%. That's because it was coming from $1.48. Don't mind me, that's the patriotic me in me, always shouting Naira when I should be saying dollars. Okay, so December 2024, it was $1.48, and then currently $2.93. So 88% gained in the last 6 months. Then from January till date, it's gained 126%. This small stock here. I followed this stock for like 3 years plus. That's why the moment I read about the question here, I could just give you details of what it is all about. An online sports streaming TV channel. Just like Netflix is to movies, Fubo is to sports. Okay, what penny stock can I buy now? Nomi spoke about some penny stocks some time ago. I'm sure you are referring to Nigerian stocks. Let's take a good look at these Nigerian stocks again. Guinness is looking interesting at 81 naira 50 kobo per share at the moment. Okay, 81.50, though the lowest offer is 84. And Owando is trying to stage a comeback now at over 54. Yesterday was 49, rising from 45, and today is now 54. And still dancing. Gradually, international breweries is climbing, currently 929. Mayor Baker continues to make progress. 5 million shares traded, that's a lot. That's more like unusual volume. My goodness, what's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, Northern Nigerian flour mills, 99 naira 55 kobo per share. Zero offer, 1.8 million bids. What's going on? Has flour mills finally made a statement regarding buying out minority shareholders? I sat in this bus since it was selling for 38, between 35 and 38. Northern Nigerian flour mills. Or is it 40 or thereabouts? And I know of some people who bought with me. We just sat in that bus and I've just been watching this stock grow and have not been moved to sell. From 30 something or even 40 something, we're at 99.55. So Northern Nigerian flour mills is almost hitting 100 naira per share before our very eyes. Interesting, isn't it? 1.8 million bids, no offer. Something must be up somewhere. Some people might have sold at 70 something, at 60 something, at even 80 something. Well, we have arrived in 99.55 mark, almost 100 naira per share. Wow, this is getting all the more interesting. When you find a stock, please stay in it. I beg you, stay in it. You know why? You are joining the stock market at very interesting times when a lot has happened in the Nigerian economy with the devaluation of the naira and the what you call inflation in the Nigerian economy. But both of these have not really reflected in the stock market well enough. That's why you can imagine up till now, the most expensive stock that is regularly traded. If I ask you the most expensive stock now, what will you say? How much is the most expensive stock? Somebody tell me. Name the most expensive stock in the NGX. Let me see if I have smart students who knows what is happening around them. What is the most expensive stock? Somebody type it. Gerald says Seplat. Deal says Seplat. Lolade says Seplat. Well, somebody says Airtel. Oh my God. Well, everybody is saying Seplat. Seplat is about 5,000 something. Airtel is about 2,000 something. Well, somebody just said something. Wow. Good. That's it. Grace was the first to say it. And then I'm seeing the Otumba one. Akindele. Okay. Dora Concept. Dora Concept says Airtel. Stanley Wu says 1 million. Do you know that the most expensive stock in the Nigerian stock market is 1 million naira per share? I've got very smart people here, actually. True. Frankfurter, how can you say Okomu? Okomu can't be the most expensive stock. 500 and something. There is a stock in the Nigerian stock market. You have been scrolling past, but you don't recognize it. 1 million naira per share. Nobody trades it every day. Oh my God, Avaif, that's it. 1 million naira per share. Nobody trades that stock, but it's there. 1 million naira per share. So I've got very smart people. They know what they are doing. Some people quickly went to the screen and started searching. Oh my God. So what was I saying before I went on to say the most expensive stock? I forgot to myself because this was quite an interesting quiz though. I was talking about Northern Nigerian flour mills. What was I saying then? Wow, Dora concept. You bought Northern Nigerian flour mills at 37 and you have not sold? Come on now. I need to talk to you. You come up here and inspire somebody. Where is Dora? Dora concept, is that? Dora concept, yes. Where are you? Right now, I don't mind if you are at work. You've got to take a quick break and speak to us. Trying to search for Dora concept. I hope I find you on the queue because you've got some lecturing to do to us here or for us here. Dora concept. So that people will see and know that we are not faking these things here. When we speak about a stock and you are convinced and you go ahead to buy, please relax and enjoy. This thing is not, we are not, it's not a hit and run relationship, right? Don't be afraid, I won't dump you, okay? It's not a hit, I'm here, I'm real. That's why you are saying, oh, my identity is clear, nothing to hide. I'm in this with you for life, as long as you can be there, right? I don't do hit and run. I'm here for you for life. So just relax. When we find a stock, just relax. I'm looking for Dora concept. You need to come and talk to us on this matter because I don't always want to be the only one talking. I bought this stock, so. I bought this stock. Because when I say I bought NACO, 9 naira per share, some of you will be wondering, are you sure? Well, at least these days, I have people buying alongside when I mention a stock. Where is Dora concept? Unfortunately, looking like we can't find. This thing keeps jumping. 37 naira per share, and now it's 99 naira 55 kobo. My God, what a ride! Oh, great! I've got you there. Value Tech Gadget is asking, saying, I want to ask if Atlas has an app. They do not have an app.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Coach. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's good to have you.
Hello.
Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Help us with
Yes.
your background so that everybody can hear. If you can move away from.
Yes. Hello. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Dora. I'm streaming right now. I'm in Ibadan. I traveled all the way from Abuja to Ibadan for something.
Interesting. And you still managed to connect. Awesome. Go ahead. Tell us your story about not
Yes. So I bought Northern Nigerian flour mill in November when you talked about it on a live like this last year, November.
wow.
In fact, the first time you talked about it, it was 35 naira. I didn't have money to buy it at that time. So I just went and I squeezed 74,000 naira from somewhere. And I said, this coach is talking about this Northern flour mill. And as at that time, they just paid dividend 56 naira or so. Northern flour mill just paid dividend that period. So I was not like, coach is talking about this stock. Let me put my head, because when he talked about Ikeja hotel at 5 naira, 6 naira, some persons put their head and they were able to do 100%. Let me just put my head in this thing and see how far it's going to go. I bought it at 37 naira. I kept watching it. I watched Northern Flower Me. It got to 70 naira, 75 naira. I was just telling my friends that lived abroad. I said, see, oh, see how this thing is flying. In fact, as at that time, it was one of the stock that was making sense in my portfolio then. I had entered, and UCAP was just dancing, Dangote Sugar was dancing, NASCON was dancing, but Northern Flower was just making my portfolio bounce at that time. I was like, oh, now this is actually going, oh. From 75, it started going down. At some point, it got to 69. Something was saying, sell. I said, no, I will not sell. I would not sell. From 60 something, it went back to 72, from there to 80. And funny enough, this morning I looked at it, it was 90. I said, 90. So before I know it now, this thing will get to 100, and my two, because I just got only 2,000 shares. I just got that 2,000 and said, let me watch. To be frank with you, coach, that was my first time of hearing about that company. That was why I put in only that amount of money. If I had known that it's something that would fly, I would go and borrow money and even sell a land to buy it. Yes.
Wonderful.
So I'm actually happy. In fact, from the month of April till now, in fact, it's like it's every day I keep getting an alert of dividend. I keep getting an alert of dividend. I'm like, my brothers will be like, what is happening? I said, me, I will just be lying down on my bed, and alert will just come. They will say, alert from where? I'll say, for my investment. I've been telling you guys to invest. Look at me, I will just sit down and alert. And I try to make them understand that it's not like I sold my stock, or my stock is still lying in my portfolio, but I'm getting money back. I've not sold this stock and I'm getting money back. So I would always say, I want to appreciate your effort. I've actually not been on live for some time because of what I'm doing right now. In fact, I'm in Ibadan. I left Abuja and came to Ibadan for something. But coach, I want to thank you for all you do for us. All you do. When I keep telling my brothers that most times it is even people outside the country that fill up our live section. They will be like, what? I said yes. I said, since people don't want to invest, you guys are like, Nigeria don't want to invest. The ones abroad are already taking advantage.
Exactly.
They are already taking advantage of our Nigerian market. So I want to thank you so much for all you do, for all your encouragement. God bless you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Dora. We really appreciate your doggedness and your commitment to growing your wealth. That's the most important thing. And that confirms the same. If you're not following me, you are losing money. Hope you have heard now. Everybody here, if you are just joining, follow me.
Coach, let me say something. I
Okay.
had a friend that was telling me, I've been telling him about investing. He will be like, blah, blah, blah. So when CBES came, he said CBES. I said CBES, that's me, I've pitched my tent in net worth investors, oh, and nobody has come up with CBES on net worth investors. So I don't have any business doing CBES because my coach has not said it. He was like, do it, do it. I said, no. That is like going to church and listening to your pastor. That for me now, when it comes to this market, my coach is my pastor, he's my mentor. He has not said anything about CBES, so I would not do CBES. And to the glory of God, I followed my heart and followed what goes on Net Worth Investors Club. I didn't join CBES. And my friends that joined CBES, they all lost their money.
See? Somebody came on this live session that time and was asking CBEX, coach, say something about CBEX. And they typed CBEX in capitals. I got confused. I said, wow, could this be a US company that just got listed? And I was wondering, that's how lost I was because for me, if it is not in a regulated sector and they can't really explain what they are doing, if it's cryptocurrency, we will know it's crypto. Crypto does not need you to pack your money and give somebody to make returns for you. It's very simple and straightforward. Well, thank God for you You've always, and that's what we try to help people here. Try to know when it is not real and stay away, no matter how tempting it may look, because those things will surely keep failing. And the tragic part of it is that a new one will come tomorrow, people will still put money, but not any one of us here, because right from the days of MMM, I could tell if it's a Ponzi from the word go. Because you must define to me where the money is going, where is the account. It has to be in my name and in my account. If I can't see it, then you are blabbing, because it is all fake. Ponzi is now disguised in many things: crypto,
Yeah.
forex, even stocks. They'll tell you stocks. If it is stocks, let me open the account, pay the money into my own trading account, and buy
Correct.
whatever stock. Don't confuse me with all these stories. Thank you very much. Really appreciate for all.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have learned one or two things. The determination to stay on and hold on to a stock, even when you see it drop, because it is fundamental. If it were for trading, we would have said, okay, sell when you see that it's dropping and take profits. But if you have made up your mind from the word go that you want to see the end of this, and there is nothing fundamentally wrong with the stock, stay in there. 99,
Coach,
55 kobo, congratulations.
I have made a lot of money from hims and hers. Oh. I entered at 25 and it got up to 68.
Oh my God. Beams and hands, another one.
$25 and today is 60. As I yesterday it was 65, $66. I entered at $25.
That's over 200% in
Yes.
foreign exchange.
Yes.
If you are not following me, you are losing money. I hope everybody can understand that statement now. Congratulations, Dora. Just keep
Thank you,
flying.
sir.
That's what we're all about.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I can't preach enough. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to tell you what is possible if you are ready. Okay? So, let's keep going. Stay patient. We are investing for the long term. You are actually part owning the company you are investing in. That's one thing you need to understand about investing in stocks. You are not a hit and run. Don't play that game. It doesn't make you wealthy. Research has shown that the most beneficial people in the stock market, those who make the most money in the stock market, are those who invest for the long term. So back to Nomi. Please tell me the stock to buy. Nomi is fired up, and I can tell, especially from Dora's last contributions. So come with me and let's search for a stock for Nomi and anybody else who wants to invest. Let's just check through and see the most viable stock to buy. Remember, nobody knows the future, but we know the state of these companies that will eventually give you money. If you do not have stay with me, still searching. Now, I have mentioned QTix for a long time, and I suppose that you should have bought QTix by now. QTix is about to fly. You know, it has lingered for a long while around 2 naira 30 kobo and so on and so forth. But right now, QTix is at 264. A very good company, well run, even gave a bonus of 1 for 1 last year, and that's why it looks like it has stagnated. QTix is about to fly. Listen, 264 currently. If you find it around 250, well, I'm seeing some serious bids at 259. If you find it around 250 or anything less, it's a good buy. Watch it between now and Friday. You may be able to find it around that price. The reason why I don't want you to buy at 264 now is because it could drop to 250 and then you look disappointed and be afraid. Even though we're preaching now, don't be scared, but you can't be afraid. The point is, QTix is a solid company that you can actually take long-term position in. QTix is spelled Cutix. QTix, they are the best indigenous electrical cable manufacturer in Nigeria. That's one. Dangote Sugar, currently 38 naira. Buy enough now. If you see at 37, buy. If you see at 36, buy. But don't watch Dangote Sugar leave you and fly. A lot is building up regarding this company. The bad days are gone when most companies suffered foreign exchange losses. If you don't have it, buy Dangote Sugar now. It's 38 now. Don't be scared. If it drops to 36 or 37, buy more. Ideal entry used to be 36. It's not looking like it's going lower. Dangote has established a sugar refinery in Ghana. Dangote Sugar has also tried to expand some sugarcane plantation in the north or around the Middle Belt area. Things are going to change very fast with that stock. And if Dangote Foods, the merger takes place, I keep saying this, if they stick to the former merger, the original merger prospectus, Dangote Sugar will give you more of the Dangote Foods when the merger happens compared to if you buy NASCON. That is to say, there is more value now in Dangote Sugar buying it at this price compared to NASCON now. The analysis is there. I did it over and over when we were on WhatsApp. Before we went on Discord, we used to be on WhatsApp group. Those breakdowns are still there. Maybe I will share it on the Discord group later. I can still fetch all those my analysis of that merger. If you have a certain number of Dangote Sugar, Dangote, yes, it's 1 for 1. For every 1 Dangote Sugar you have, you get 1 zit, or for every 2 Dangote Sugar you have, you get 1 Dangote Foods. But for NASCON, it's like 11 for 1, something like that. I will check through, but I can tell you the scheme of merger actually values Dangote Sugar more than NASCON. Even though, as we speak now, the financial reports based on performance so far, NASCON is more valuable than Dangote Sugar. That's why the market has now priced NASCON higher than Dangote Sugar. Before, they were about the same price. Good, thank you very much. 1 sugar to 1 food and 12 NASCON to 11. Thank you, that's it. 1 sugar to 1 food, 12 NASCON to 11 food. Do you get that point now? So the merged entity, which will be a merger of Dangote Sugar, NASCON, and Dangote Rice, which is a private company, will now be called Dangote Foods. And for every 1 Dangote Sugar you have, you will be given 1 Dangote Foods. But for NASCON, if you have 12 NASCON, for every 12 NASCON you have, you'll be giving 11 Dangote Foods. That's where you can see that buying Dangote Sugar now at 38 is far cheaper should the merger eventually bounce back and this ratio is the same. You get the point now? Chuku Nonso says, please, how do I buy the stocks? Well, time is not on our side. You first open a stock brokerage account and then you fund your account. Then you can actually get knowledge and then you start buying. For us, we suggest Atlas portfolios because of the speed of execution of transactions that it affords you. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm typing my handle now at Wealth Coach Omiete. Send me a DM to send you the link to open your brokerage account. I'll also send you the link to join Network Investors Club. We are on Discord app, and then you can go ahead to do what you have to do. After all said and done, with all the rush last year for Dangote Sugar and Dangote NASCON, after the whole confusion, a lot of people have averaged down now, and NASCON, some people are now in profit in NASCON, those who were able to wait, and those who were able to average down. Things are beginning to take shape. One bad year can mean a terrible disaster to a portfolio, but to a large extent, it can also help you to make good money if you are patient, right? It's 4 minutes to go. Somebody mentioned something about MSCI, right? Was that Lucci Naturals? SMCI. Oh, wow. Lucci Naturals, yes. You bought SMCI. I think I need to talk to you now. We have 3 minutes to go. I don't know if it's possible. I'm trying to see where you posted it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of comments. It's difficult to find where you made that statement. And that stock is about to rebound, yes. SMCI is at $45 pre-market. You mentioned at 29. Lucci Naturals, did you buy? Wow, 45 pre-market, SMCI. Suddenly, a lot is happening in the US market. If you are not invested there, you are losing money. What? Yesterday, I saw a move yesterday, closed at 38, it's currently 45 in pre-market indeed. 18% gain in pre-market, and as of yesterday, 16% gain. So a lot is happening in the foreign market. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not making money, it is your fault. So how can I place a bid with Atlas for days? Not the time limit price. Sorry, there are no options to place order for days on Atlas. That happens on Meritrade or Meristem's platform. So, what US stock can we buy before Friday? Gift is asking, what US stock can we buy before Friday? You can buy RCAT, I mentioned. You can also buy ACMR. ACMR is a gradual, just keep moving gradually. In fact, some people are praying for it to come down. These fundamentals are very clean, and we want to take position before it actually flies. Let me see what's happening to it in pre-market. You see, slow and very slow and but steady. 25, it's close to 25.14 yesterday. In pre-market, it's 25.42. Slow and steady, no heart attack, no BP. Temitope says Nigerian stock for swing trade between 2 to 3 months with millions. Well, I can't immediately state anything here. Maybe tomorrow we'll take a look at that because the time is already up. Or maybe you can look at the way of Guinness. Look the way of Guinness. Temitope. Let's see what happens with that. What rate is good to buy first hold call? Oyinloluwa, I think you can go ahead and buy at 24 something. Anything under 25 is not bad. Showy, we do not want you to go that direction. I won't even mention what it is that you are writing. I know you are joking. It also tells us how excited we can get. So how can I reach out to you? Prince Usiomon. Prince, send me a DM on Instagram for quick response. Most of the Instagram messages yesterday, I couldn't respond due to some engagements. Hopefully, I will attend to all of them. I've shared my Instagram handle here. Just send me a direct message. I will respond and we'll take it up from there. For anybody who wants one-on-one coaching, you have to be the one to DM me first. Don't listen to anybody who comes to your DM by themselves and asking you all kinds of stories. Please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is when we come to the end of today's live session. Really appreciate you all. I don't know if I was receiving requests for call-ins from Instagram. From tomorrow, I'll try to be responding to what I'm seeing that looks like people tried calling in. Right? Apologies for any questions I've not been able to answer. This is where we come to the end of today. And then, of course, remember, as minutes after at 2:30 p.m. the US market opens. So I always have my hands full all day, and the US market closes at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, Frankfurter, for all the gifts you are sharing. I know that we're making impact. Let's continue to build. I know 1 year after, you will be the better off by the time you check what it is that you have been able to achieve. Thank you so much. See you again tomorrow, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. For now, thank you and bye for now. Thank you, Lolade. I see you there. So it's a beautiful session as usual. Thank you very much. If you missed any of this live session, don't worry. By 6 p.m. latest today, the full video will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. Go ahead, subscribe for free, and also watch. Thank you and stay blessed. Bye for now.